Hey, are you talking about back in the day?
Nah, man. I'm talking about back in the day.
Back in the day. Back in the day. Back in the day. Back in the day.
Joining me today on the Back in the Day podcast is the producer of the podcast and the host of the I'm a Fan of podcast, Mr. Travis Wright. How are you, Travis?
Hey, man, doing good. It's interesting to be on this side of the table.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, for sure.
Usually you're in a corner hiding out.
Yeah.
No one can see you or hear you or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, welcome back, guys. We had a great season 3. We wrapped that up. I appreciate you guys all listening, sharing it, downloading, doing whatever it is that you guys do out there in the podcast world. Had some fun talking about people's first dates, awkward dates, all that good stuff. And so for the bonus episode, we kind of like to turn it around on me, and then I tell my back in the day stories from that and just kind of flip it.
Before you tell your story, what was your favorite story of the season?
100% Julie Dobbs.
Remind me what hers was.
Hers was
the skiing accident.
The skiing accident.
That's right.
Well, and she had 2 great stories. So she had where she was at like that festival and she choked on that piece of chicken.
Oh, that's
or whatever,
right. Yeah,
and the person had to do a Heimlich on her.
That's right.
And she like threw up in that trash can.
That one was great. Dude, first of all, she is just like a fantastic guest.
I know.
Like I was, because it's like you're sitting over here and you're listening. It's like you're making sure the cameras are going. You're making sure the audio's going. But she was one of the ones where because usually I'm just listening, like I'm listening to the podcast live or something.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing y'all. And with her, it's like I ended up just like I felt like I was just sitting there with like my hand on my chin, like just fully engaged. Like she was just, I don't know, man. She has like a lot of charisma, and clearly she's got that huge radio background that helps. But man, it's like she just knows how to tell a fucking story.
I know. So is that story,
Yeah.
And then the story about her going on that skiing trip and that guy breaking his leg. She barely even knew him. So she's just,
dude,
and just the way she told the story made it amazing.
And it's so sad. Like, I'm delusional. So like, if I had been either of those guys on those dates, I would have been thinking like, oh, this is probably going to be the fun story of like how I met my wife, and like we're going to be telling this to our kids and stuff. And instead, she's like, "Hey, I got to bail. Like, I know your leg's broke.
I really just want to go skiing." So yeah, it was she was great, and it's cool to kind of see like her career since that episode came out. It's been about a year and a half now. She's freaking drive time host now.
Yeah, she
had a morning. She was she went from the ticket. Now she's at the Freak, and she up until Monday. She was the morning show host, and now she's drive time host.
That's pretty badass.
So she's one of the hosts on the drive time. I think they're 2 to 6 on 97.1, The Freak in Dallas.
Yeah.
So if you want to see more, listen to more of Julie, you can check her out on 97.1, The Freak, 2 to 6, and also on the iHeart Radio app. You can download all their podcasts. They podcast the entire show every single day. So I would definitely check it out. Her show is called The Speakeasy.
The Speakeasy.
Yeah.
Which guest did you hate and is never coming back on the show?
I can't mention that. That's for you guys to go back and listen to. And
that'll be for the Patreon, right?
Yeah, that'll be. Venmo me $20 and I'll tell if whatever.
Dude, I'm curious. You always talk to me about like picking a topic for the season. Now that you went through that season, how do you feel at the end of the season with the topic of dating and all that versus when you thought like, oh, when we do this, we're going to hear this or that? Like, did you get kind of what you thought you would, or was it okay?
So I was hoping for, if you notice, I think that's the most female guest I've had in a season, and I was trying to lean heavier to females. I wanted some more like awkward DM stories or like guys shooting their shots in the DMs, like because I love those stories, because I don't think that would ever have been. I was never single during the DMs age, and I don't think that would have ever been my move. And I love hearing those stories. They make me so happy. And there just wasn't a ton of those stories, so I thought there was going to be more of that, but there wasn't. Everyone was like, "Oh no, my DMs are kind of nice." And
yeah, which is weird because if you listen to, like, it sounds like there's just nothing but dick pics out there all the time.
Yeah.
Just flying through DMs just constantly. And it's I don't think that I would be bold enough if I was single right now to make that my move of like,
oh no,
I'll just send you a quick DP and we'll
No.
but it has to work on some percentage level for it to happen.
Yeah, they're obviously like at least batting like 5% or something. Like, I wonder if it's like just like a numbers game, like you're just like throwing out 100 a day or something, and you're trying to hit one.
Did you ever watch King of the Hill?
I've seen it.
You know
but
the characters, right?
Yeah,
you know Boomhauer, the guy that talks real fast.
Uh-huh.
He's like a ladies' man. There's a fantastic episode where Bobby Hill is trying to figure out how to like hit on women and get a date, and Boomer's a ladies' man. So somehow he finds his way to Boomhauer, and he's gonna teach him how. And he goes to like a women's clothing store or something, or a shoe store, and all he's doing is walking up and hitting on every single woman he sees, and he's just getting shot down by everybody until finally someone's like, "Oh, okay, I'll go on a date."
Yeah.
Like, and you realize he's just getting shot down 99 out of 100 times.
Absolutely,
and
all
that's
you gotta do
his
is that
big
one.
move. Yeah,
I used to like I run a sales department, and a job I used to have was more of like a heavy like outbound call job. You know, like you made like 100 calls a day, and I used to tell them, I was like, "We're telling you to make 100 calls a day, and every day we're saying like your goal is to get one deal. That's it, just one deal a day, and we're gonna applaud you for it." It's like, so you're just gonna get 99 no's and one yes, and if you do that, I'm gonna give you a high five. Like, hell yeah, you did it. So
Yeah.
it's yeah.
I do wonder if I was single now, if I had never been married, right? Would I, like, knowing the Boomhauer logic, you know, the sales pitch you just gave me, it's like, would I go and just hit on everyone and just see who's like, oh, okay, I'll go out on a date with you? Like, do you think about that? Like, if you weren't married, what your strategy would be dating now?
Yeah, I can't decide if the online thing would have been better for me or I think I'm definitely better like written, like hitting on girls than I am.
Yeah, because you got
Like,
time to think about it.
Yeah, you know, but
compose.
like I don't have the balls to just go up to some stranger and
Dude,
start
you're a
talking.
comic, though. You talk to audience members.
That's different.
That
Get
are
me
heckling you.
Yeah, get me in front of a crowd. I'll talk to them all day.
Yeah.
But like just going and doing random small talk, I'm super awkward when it comes to that. If I know you, I'll carry on an amazing conversation and we'll have a great time. But it takes me a little while to warm up to people for sure.
Do you think if you were single now, you would try to date like people in the crowd? Like you would try,
No.
you know what I mean? Because like that's an easy access point, right? They just saw you, just said, "Oh, you're so funny.
It just depends, maybe. I don't know. I think it would be.
Come get drinks with us after the show. I thought you were really cute."
I don't think that comics get that. Like, I mean, maybe they
No.
do, maybe they don't. But I mean, I always think like comics are like we're like the nerds, you know.
It's also like, you have to have noticed like it's skewed when you're married, right? Because it's like the moment you put that ring on, you have confidence. You don't care about women anymore.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're getting You're not getting hit on because they see the ring, but they are flirting because it's like you're not a threat, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. And so when you're married, you're like, I got a bunch of game. But it's like the moment you take that ring off.
Yeah, now they're like, ew.
Yeah, it's all gone.
You're a creep. Why are you talking to me? I was like, you're the waitress that asked me to take you asked me for my order.
Yeah. It's like, I thought when you asked me if I wanted more ranch, that was a sign.
Yeah. Are we dating now? Like what is happening?
Well, what are we heard from all your guests, man? Give me the dating stories you want to tell in the order you want to tell them,
Okay.
because you've had the whole season to think about
yeah,
this.
so first story that I asked guests was about like their first date, if they remember their first date. I remember my first date 100%.
Yeah.
So like I think a lot of people were like, it's kind of hard. I can't think of my first date. My first date was we went like on a double date. So the guy and the girl that we went with, they were like boyfriend, girlfriend. They had been together for a long time.
Did
and
they
were,
like
setting us up?
Okay, that's what
It was like I knew the guy and the girl, like the couple, and they knew the girl. And so we went out, we had dinner, and then we went to a movie. I think we saw Austin Powers.
Ooh,
One of the
that's a
Austin
good date
Powers.
movie.
And we were like the only people in the theater. And I just like, we didn't even watch the movie. And like, not that we didn't watch the movie because we were like making out, like I was not that smooth at all. We just watched the movie and I was just like awkwardly making jokes the entire like just making like awkward jokes. Didn't try to hold her hand. Didn't try to like even like make a move at all.
Yeah. How old were you again?
I was either 15 or 16.
Ooh, that's so awkward.
You know, like I wasn't at that age of. I just remember like the leading up to it being like super nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what I thought was going to happen or what was going down. I remember I shaved my chest.
Okay.
Yeah, like, why?
Because you thought like the shirt's definitely popping off.
I don't know why my chest was shaved, but I remember like, I remember like, because I'm a hairy dude.
Had you shaved your chest before that date?
I don't think so.
Ever?
I don't think
so. This would have been the first shave.
Yeah, this was the first chest shave, and I remember like shaving my chest, and I remember that coming up in conversation somehow.
Like you told
with the
her,
girl.
like,
oh yeah, she
just
knew,
so you know.
Yeah, and I think I was like talking.
I'm like a seal
like
right
I
now.
was like talking about like being prepped for the day. I don't remember how I brought it up, but I brought it up like at a humorous. I was like, I shaved my chest, girl, and she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, like I shaved my chest. I was like, here, and I like unbuttoned my shirt. I was like, feel it.
Yeah.
And so,
do you remember the lead up to like deciding to shave your chest?
yeah, like.
Do you remember like the thought process of, well, this needs to happen?
Well, okay. I think it was twofold. Like I had like a swim party that day too in the morning.
Okay.
And so I was going to like a swim party, and I'm 15 or 16. Not all the people have hairy chest. I had a hairy chest at like 14. Not like a full on hair. Like I got like a full on hairy chest, but like I had enough hair on my chest that it was embarrassing to me.
Yeah.
So
like at those ages, you're like changing out in the locker room and stuff, and like all the guys are kind of looking at the other guys because you're all developing at different stages, and it's like, wow, he's got a lot of armpit hair.
Yeah. So I remember just like being like, I'm going to this pool party, and I got this date. I should shave this chest. Like, you know, like I'm shaving my chest today, and I'm sure I didn't do a very good job of it. You know, like,
dude, and like razors aren't cheap.
No,
you know?
And I'm just flying through those razors. You know, I don't know what I'm doing at all. I don't even think I put shaving cream on it. I just like went on there raw.
Yeah. So when you opened your shirt to show her, was it all like razor bumps and stuff?
No, she touched. She said it was smooth. You know, it was smooth chest. And then I dated her for like 3 months. So like the hairy chest or the smooth chest worked.
Did you keep up the shaving throughout the 3 months?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think I probably shaved my chest again until I was probably for another 2 years or so.
Yeah. Would you have shaved it again if you went back and did it?
What? Like
if you went back now
into time?
If you go back in time, would you do that move again?
Shave the chest?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, like I think it was a solid move. It was a good joke. I got it was a good icebreaker. She touched my chest on the first date. You know? It obviously worked.
Dude, when you're 15 and a girl's like touching your bare skin anywhere on your body, you're just like,
yeah. Yeah, and she was super attractive.
Nice.
Definitely out of my league.
Yeah.
And then she broke up with me because she was like a little bit more advanced than I was, and I wasn't ready to.
Was she older?
No.
Yeah, just more mature like a girl is.
She was not like advanced like emotionally. Like she just was like, she wanted things to move a little bit faster than I did,
and you weren't ready.
I was so awkward, and she drank and stuff, and like I didn't do any of that.
Gotcha.
And so it was just like, I was.
So you were dating a woman.
I was dating like,
and you weren't ready.
Yeah, and I was like, this lady, like, she wants some stuff that I'm not ready to give to her.
You remember how scared of women you were at that age too?
100%.
Just terrified.
Dude, I slow rolled, and I did this with like a couple of girls in high school. I slow rolled with this one girl. She sat next to me in a class, and I had a crush on her. And I'm pretty sure she had a crush on me too. But at that age, I had no idea she had a crush on me. And I'm talking, dude, like every day talked to her, every day hung out with her in the hallway, had this like, and like my game was so whack. Like I'm doing like challenges, like we should see who can go the longest without wearing the same shirt twice. You know, and we did that, and like I never asked her out. Like I never like did anything.
Oh, dude, and she was going home going like, would he just ask me out?
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask him out.
I can't wear I need another. She's like going and buying new shirts. She can win the contest,
The contest. Yeah, oh my God, dude. There was a girl in high school. I would have been like a freshman, I guess, and she would like just scratch my back in class or like give me a little shoulder rub. And it never dawned on me till like years later. It's like, oh,
yeah,
she was into me.
I had the same thing happen in high school. this girl would come over to my house to watch TV. Okay?
Yeah.
And she'd come over to my house. It was always like 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. And she would like lay in my lap and do all this stuff. And I just thought she thought I was her homie. Like, you know, like I never attempted anything.
I really value our friendship.
Yeah.
This is nice.
You know what I mean? She took me to like for my birthday, she took me to a Cowboys game, like on the 40-yard line or something. Like, and I didn't pick up on any of it.
Dude, you were accidentally like a little heartbreaker. You know, like she's probably like, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, like going to the like
I bought him fucking Cowboys tickets.
Yeah, it was just so awkward. Like, we should.
It's like, that was good. I'll see you later.
Yeah, let's shake hands. And she had multiple tickets to the game. So I think her family had season tickets. They weren't using them, and she had 3 tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she just wanted to take me, but she mentioned that she had multiple tickets, and she's like, we don't have to use, like, no one's going to use them. I was like, well, can I bring a friend? Like, you know, like it's my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
So,
my
like,
buddy Josh really
so I brought a friend.
loves the Cowboys.
I brought a friend. She's like, okay.
Dude, man. It's like, you know, and there's no, like, maybe there is now, but there's no, like, handbook on, like, hey.
I just think you either have it or you don't.
Yeah.
Because I have some friends that it was, like, from 11, they were smooth. Like, you know, from the jump, they were smooth. Like, I think that's either part of your DNA or it's not. And it was not. I was, looking back on it, I actually was really good. I just didn't know the signs.
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, you know what I mean?
You didn't know
like,
you were throwing down
Yeah,
game.
I was like, dude, like, they think because I was funny.
Yeah.
You know, and like I was funny and I listened to them and stuff like that. I just didn't know how to like turn that into let's hang out and go on a date or whatever, right? Because I was too afraid of being rejected. So I was like, I'm just going to hang out in this fun zone of making you laugh for a long time.
Yeah, so you probably had all of this accidental confidence that you didn't realize you had.
Yeah, I don't think I had any. I had no confidence. Like,
It was probably perceived that like he's so funny, he's confident. It's like,
and it was just, to me, it was just a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
I'll make fun of stuff, and no one's gonna hurt my feelings because I'm just gonna.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude! Imagine if you had a way to like watch your younger self go through that, and you'd just be shouting like, "Oh my God!
Yeah.
Just kiss her. What are you
what
doing?
Are you doing? Like,
what are you doing?"
She just like I had this like I remember one time I had this group of girls that I was in theater with came and like rearranged my entire closet for me. like
Jesus.
Like all these like and my mom was like, I'm pretty sure those girls have crushes. I was like, nah, Mom, they're just cool. They're just coming
You're just
over.
like you're on your bed with like your feet crossed.
Yeah, like
you
exactly.
You got like a straw in your soda can, reading a comic book. You're
and
like,
I had no
"Thanks."
idea. And I was just like, no, Mom, they don't like me or whatever. Like they're just coming over. It's like, Michael, they just like spent like 3 hours in there. They like doing that type of stuff. So yeah, I was terrible. I was so bad at picking up signals or having any ideas. Kind of like with Raphael.
Oh, that's one of my favorite stories where he's talking about tutoring the girl.
Yeah,
yeah.
She's like,
my parents aren't here, and he's like, oh, do I need to go home?
Yeah. So it was like constant stuff. So I think the next thing was like the most awkward
date.
Awkward date. I don't have an awkward date story. What I do have is like an awkward thing that happened to me where a girl like called me out on my bullshit to where it was like she put me in my place real quick. So I used to do this thing with girls that I was talking to while I was in college.
Mm-hmm. So we're talking about a college age girl here.
Yeah. So I'm like 22, maybe 23. I'm 22.
Mm-hmm.
And so
this is when you're a theater student at OU.
Yeah, I'm at Oklahoma. She didn't go to Oklahoma. I met her somewhere else, and I happened to be in Austin for the weekend, and she was from Austin, or she went to UT or something like that. But she had graduated, and she happened to be in Austin too. We had been talking that summer or whatever, and so I used to do this thing that when I was talking to a girl and going to the bars, I would purposely like want to try to figure out like if a girl was into me.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was like texting them that night and I would like put like a little like, I would throw out like a little bait and I would say like, oh, what are you doing tonight or whatever. And like, oh, we're over at such and such place. And if I was within walking distance from that place, I would say, oh yeah, us too. And then if they responded back excited, I'd walk over there. If they responded back like it was just like matter of a fact, I would like wait a little bit and like, oh, we just left, we just missed you.
Yeah.
Okay. So
smooth.
All right.
Smooth, by the way.
So I did that. And so I did that to this girl. I don't know Austin. and I'm
Yep, go on.
And so I don't know Austin that well. And so we're texting back and forth. My goal is I want to hang out with her. Like, you know what I mean? Like we talked a little bit, but we never like really like hung out that much. So like, oh, it's cool. I'm in Austin this weekend. You happen to be you went to UT. Now you're in Austin this weekend. Just happened to be there the same weekend I'm there. I'd love to meet up with you, but I'm with friends that I'm staying with in Austin. I don't have a call. I don't know how to get around, right? So I'm texting her, and I do the whole thing that I normally do. But I ask my friend, I'm like, "Are we close enough to this place?" And like, "Yeah," or whatever, right? Well, then they legitimately decide to leave. I'm playing my game.
Yeah.
But now the game becomes real because they decide to leave and we go to a house party.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She's like, okay, cool. We should meet up. Blah, 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 blah. So I hit her back up. I'm like, oh, sorry. My friend just left and we're at this house party. I don't know where we are. Do you want to maybe come pick me up? Right? Like, I can give you an address. And she writes back and she writes, hell nah. ... I ain't nobody's backup plan.
Good for you, lady. Good for you. You don't need to be a fucking backup plan.
I was like, oh shit. And I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, but she called me out on that. But I wasn't really trying to play that game.
Yeah,
I
it just
was
happened.
kind of doing it, but
that's
not
bad.
really. And I never talked to her again.
That's so uncomfortable. There was no way to try to salvage it. Like, no.
I tried that. And
or like when you read it, you were thinking, I can save this.
I tried to save it.
Yeah.
I tried to wordsmith it and tried to like talk like, oh no, like legitimately, like, I'm staying with these friends and they're the ones that are like controlling where I go. Like, let's hang out. Like, I really want to hang out with you. And she's like, no, done. And
good for her, man.
And we never hung
That's
out.
some self-confidence.
We never
right
hung
there.
out. I don't think we ever texted again. That was it. And it was like, I just happened to be there that weekend, and I like reached out. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in Austin. Are you having to be?" Austin? She's like, "Oh my god, I'm in Austin too," because some hurricane was going on, and she was living somewhere where it was being affected. So she went to Austin for like a week or something.
Yeah,
that was it. That was a pretty awkward moment.
That's super awkward. Isn't it crazy though how like all those things aligned for y'all to be in the same place, but they couldn't align for y'all to actually just be like one last place together. Like you're both from other cities in the city, hanging out, and you're thinking like, oh, the universe is pushing you into this.
Yeah.
And then it's like, nope, we're going to get you really close.
Yeah,
but fuck you.
I messed it up. I was trying to be smooth, you know?
Yeah.
I couldn't be smooth.
Yeah. And meanwhile, your wife's like, that's right.
Yeah. She's like, you're not smooth. I know that you're not smooth.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, dude, I'm so like, I don't know about you, but I'm so happy to be married and not deal with any of that anymore.
100%. Because I was really bad at it. I'm a relationship guy. Like, I've always, like, I was, had like a relationship, high school, college. I had pretty much was with the same girl for not all of it, but I was in college for like 4.5 years. I was with this girl for like 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So most of it, once we broke up, I started dating my wife. I got married to my wife. Like, it's like, like it's so, I like relationships. I don't like playing I'm not good at it, and most of my people that I've dated started off as a friendship.
Right.
It started off like
comfortable.
Yeah. Like, cause I don't want to get turned down. Like,
well, I was going to ask you, like, when you're at OU, and because like theater kids, they seem to have a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I had confidence to open it up. Great opener, couldn't close the deal. Like, like I get leads all day, but I wasn't trying to close deals per se. And like I said, I always had like a girlfriend or whatever. And so, but you are correct, and it is. In theater, when you are a straight male and not weird.
Yeah, you're just fighting it off left and right.
Not fighting it off, but like, if you wanted to, you could probably, say hello to a lot of girls.
You're spending a lot of time together rehearsing.
Yeah, but they don't want a theater dude. They're just like every other girl. Like, no one wants some guy that's pretending to be Hamlet. Like, like they don't want the guy pretending to be the football player. They want the football player.
Yeah, that's true. So, they're like, "Can you give me a ride? I've got a date with this other person."
Like I got.
They said they're at this other bar. I'm going to see if I can meet them there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's interesting, man. What was if you were going to have a first date? What was your go-to move? Well, or not move, but I mean, what was like your go-to first date? Like to you, what was like, ooh, I can do this. This will be a good, won't be horribly awkward. It'll be a nice first date.
Dinner, because I can crush a conversation. So like, I mean, I didn't really date that much when I could legally drink.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like going to I met my wife at 23. So, and even then, like, you're 23, you're not trying to go meet for drinks because you don't have any money.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not trying to drop. I had a rule that I didn't buy girls drinks at bars.
Why did you have this rule?
Because I never thought that it ever worked for anybody.
Oh, okay.
So to me, it was like, I think it's the creepiest thing you can do.
So you mean like you see someone attractive and like, can I buy you a drink? Like that
Yeah,
as the opener. That. Okay.
I never do that. Like, it was just more of a.
But if you were like if you were chatting with a girl for a minute at a bar, would you buy her a drink then?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever did. I mean, I wouldn't have been opposed to it, but that was not going to be my move.
Right.
Let me buy this group of girls some drinks. Dude, that's real creepy, and I don't think it works. Because like even like my friends now that I talk to that are females that are single, they just half of them aren't even single. They have like serious relationships, and they just go and get free drinks.
Yep.
So like, it doesn't work. It's pathetic looking. I think it comes off as creepy as hell.
Yeah.
So I never did that. I think one time one of my friends on my tab bought this like group of girls that we were talking to drinks, and I was so mad. Not mad that we spent the money, mad that the rule was broken.
Okay. I want to know this now that you're a seasoned comic. Are first dates to comedy shows good ideas or bad ideas? Because that's one of the things you hear all the time at a show. They'll be like, how long have y'all been together? And they're like, oh, it's first date. And they're like, oh, and you brought her to a comedy show. Right? That's an old hacky thing that people say. But I love comedy shows, and I would take a first date to a comedy show hands down.
I think as long as there's another activity involved with it, it's probably a good first date.
Yeah, like comedy show and drinks.
Yeah, dinner, comedy show, drinks, something else involved with it. But I kind of put the comedy show in the same realm as like taking someone to a movie.
Okay.
Because you're not going to like hang out with them. You know what I mean? But I think it's not a bad first date because you can kind of see what they think is funny.
Yeah.
And you can learn a lot about a person.
Yeah.
Based off of it. But I think you need to have another activity involved.
And more importantly, well, it's risky though. But like, if you're a heckler, I'm leaving the date. It's over. But also, like, if you're a heckler, I might be stuck in this comedy show with you for a minute while you're the heckler.
Yeah. I always find it interesting. Oh, I had a really, it wasn't a first date. It was a couple, a show I did a couple of months ago I don't know how it came up, but the guy was like a felon. And he was like talking about like when he got out of jail and stuff like that. But like the timelines like matched up to where I was like, did y'all meet while he was in jail?
Oh.
But they didn't.
Okay.
They didn't meet while they were in jail. However, the maid of honor in their wedding was his ex-girlfriend.
That's fucking
right.
weird.
The maid of honor. So like they're like best friends or whatever. She ended up marrying they broke up, whatever. But the maid of honor dated him while he was in jail.
Man.
So that's how they met. That's why I was like, how long have y'all known each other? And like kind of lined up. I was like, well, that's when you said you were in jail. I was like, oh shit, did y'all meet?
Yeah.
Like were you like one of those pen pals? It's like, no, my best friend. I was like, oh my gosh. And so it was like,
This seems like a lot of good decisions, and it's a marriage that's going to last for a long time.
they seem very happy. They've been together for like 5
Dude,
years.
that will be the marriage, though, where it's like, we've been married 55 years.
Absolutely. They seemed like they got all their other bad ideas out of the way.
Jeez. That's incredible, man. That's, ooh. You know what, though? I've always hated the dinner date. Like, one, I don't like eating in front of people.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I don't know if it's from working, like, server jobs and stuff where you're always, like, eating fast. But I feel like I'm not a pleasant person to watch while I eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's just, I don't know. It's so, like choosing a restaurant when you don't know this person's taste and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, how formal are we going? How casual are we going? That's like something like a comedy show setting. It's like I know exactly what I'm getting into. And I think my move would have always been like, let's do something interesting like that, even if we're not talking for a minute, and then do drinks afterwards. That way we have, like, I can talk to you about this thing that we just did.
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst, right? I can ask you about that. And then I feel like a lot of, I don't know about now, but it's like, I feel like a lot of women are worried about like what they're going to eat in front of the dude also.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, oh, like if you want to eat beforehand, we'll just meet up here. And then it's like, it takes that pressure off. But it could also look like you're just cheap.
I was a big ice cream date person too.
That's a good move.
You know what I mean? Because like it's not a huge time commitment.
Mm-mm.
If it turns out that you're having a good time, you can always go do something more.
And if it sucks, you got ice cream.
Yeah, you got ice cream and you can leave, you can bounce,
Yeah.
or whatever. And it's not like crazy formal, but it's not, it's super relaxed. Well, it's not crazy formal. It's not formal at all.
Yeah.
It's super relaxed. It's super casual. I knew what my strength was.
What was that?
That was gonna making someone laugh.
Yeah.
So I need to do an activity to where I could perform.
Yeah.
Like
Well, so you would crush now because now there's all sorts of like weird first date shit you can do, like axe throwing and stuff
I
like
know.
that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's one of the things I've noticed right now is like dudes who act like they can't get in relationships. It's like, man, this is like one of the easiest times to ever meet someone and go do something interesting.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you're just kind of a little bitch.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll wrap this bad boy up. Travis, I appreciate you jumping on.
For sure, man. This has been really fun.
Season 3 was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're kicking off recording season 4. That'll be out very, very soon. So make sure you guys are checking out. Travis, where can people find you?
You can go to imafanofpod.com. I'm most active on Instagram at Travis Can Listen. Facebook is all just I'm a fan of and those things. And the podcast is called I'm a Fan of. We have musicians, comics, and then anybody else I think is interesting. And on YouTube, I try to release some music features, and I've got little things where I'll try to review interesting vinyl records that I have, those types of things. So if you like music or comedy, check it out, and maybe you'll enjoy it.
Perfect. Make sure you guys follow Travis. Check out his podcast. It's a lot of fun. I've been on it a few times. Subscribe to this podcast. Check me out on Instagram at Michael Pasvar, TikTok at Michael Pasvar, michaelpasvar.com for all my show dates. We will see you on season 4. Bye now. Bye.